It's Drew Neiser with another Tuesday tip. I know you're thinking, gee, how do I reorganize my org in 2026 to be future proof? Well, fortunately for you, we just had an amazing conversation in CMO Huddles Studios with Heather Adkins and Charles Groome, and we're getting some fresh tips on their mind. So, Heather, one tip for future proofing the marketing org.
Yes, absolutely. So the biggest mistake I see is trying to future proof and scale by simply asking for more emails, more ads, more hours, and that is a recipe for turnover. So to scale and future proof without burning people out, I focus on really building a system that can handle growth without increasing the cognitive load on each individual.
I love it. So, a system for growth is sort of like you're talking about scaling. Talk about just a little bit more on what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. So the integrated campaigns team or unit that I talked about earlier is one methodology. So instead of one kind of giant marketing department that gets slower as it grows, we can scale by replicating that unit model across more and more marketing initiatives.
I love it. All right, great. Charles Groome, Charles from Insightful, give us one tip to future proof your marketing org.
I think it's got to be building an executive operating system for yourself, which is going to free you up and enable your team to have a little bit more autonomy. Give them this freedom of guess and move while you may not be working by documenting your expectations, documenting your ways of working, your hows, your methods for how you're getting things done. Give that to them and then use that as your way of managing the conversation, managing the performance, the input that leads to performance, the sort of leading edge or leading indicators that will get the results that you're ultimately accountable for as the leader. If there's one pro tip I'd add to that, Drew, it's
perfect.
Plug that executive OS into ChatGPT, put it in as an automated LLM for yourself, and use it as like a sidebar executive coach just to make sure you're staying on top of things as you handle all your day-to-day admin and management tasks.
That is indeed a pro tip. I just want to get to this notion that you mentioned of being able to move forward autonomously, a guess and move. Sorry.
Guess and move, yes.
And I just think that framing is brilliant. Talk quickly about how your employees feel when they're empowered to do that.
Well, I can't get into everyone's head, right? So I hope that employees are feeling when we have set a clear enough framework and the leader, myself, has given them the flexibility, the clear direction that failure is not a bad thing, that failure is going to happen to us, and that we're going to use that and bounce forward as opposed to fall off. That is what I am really focused on when it comes to communicating what I mean by guess and move. And I'm also hoping that it means that they have more flow, that they're not always blocking themselves and stage gating themselves. I mean, one of the things I see so much in organizations is they're just looking for validation. Did the leader say it was okay? Okay, hands off. Right. I did my job. I did my piece. That cultivates task orientation. A task doer mindset is exactly the wrong thing for 2026. You've got to have people that are going to think holistically, think strategically in the way that Heather built her org around teams and initiatives. You can't have that if everybody's waiting for the boss to say, good job.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are not going to guess and move about CMO Huddles. If you're a B2B CMO who can share, care, and dare with the best of them, do yourself a favor, check out CMOHuddles.com. I am Drew Neiser. That's your Tuesday tip. Peace out.